for anyone that's continued to listen to my channel up to this point, I will say I am going to cease with the harangue of existential angst that I've been ranting and pining and, kind of midlife crisis kind of anxiety thing. Instead of doing that, I want to approach this and use these videos as more of a journal entry, a public journal entry of an Earth citizen, that's me, living in the United States, which I would love to get out of it just to experience somewhere else, another, like every country has its ambiance, like a vibe, like a feeling. And I've only been to 2 other countries, and those are our neighboring countries, and they were both unique in their own way. I've been on both sides. I've been to each one. Actually, I've been to Canada 3 times. I've been to Mexico twice. Every time I loved it. Like, there's something about just getting out of your country that's like, maybe it's like, I'm definitely more than average loving travel, and I thrive in an environment, like when we're on tour, like, I don't know, I tap into something else. Like, it's the opposite of how most people go, where it's like they start just like, I can't do this any longer. It's like tour takes it out of people because they don't get enough sleep, and probably not eating very healthy, maybe drinking too much. But I got onto this frequency when I was traveling. I was like, it's like my performances were getting better and better. I was actually sleeping because I was so enriched throughout my day that I was living my life the way I wanted to. So I felt a sense of accomplishment and a sense of satisfaction, and I just slept like a baby. And I'm like, it's like when things start to align, everything kind of starts to align itself. I was like, oh my gosh, life can be so good. And that's how I know the contrast between how horrible it can be. Is I used to be really hard on myself, and now, after all like kinds of mysterious turmoil, for my own sake, because I'm a very unique human, I just kind of lost myself a little bit, and just flipping out and stuff. And I realized I've just become such a travesty to who I am. I was like, something must be done about it, because I can't just sit here waiting around to die and like feeling suicidal all the time. Like, it's, oh my god, it is a form of agony. It's a form of extreme discomfort in a certain realm of the psyche that it just affects everything. It affects everything. And I'm kind of having this, I get this renewed sense of being every year when it starts to be spring, and I start getting that cabin fever, that itch to travel and to just get out of the cycles, all the things I've been doing over and over, driving the same places, talking to the same people, doing the same work, playing the same songs. And I realized it was like an awakening. It was like an epiphany. I was like, I've been teasing myself with this idea, but it kind of solidified for me. Like, I felt a sense of like resoluteness, like a fulfillment, in a sense of peace, I guess you could say. I just felt a sense of peace of like, I'm going to move out of Olympia. I'm going to go to Portland. It's a jump I can make. I can find a job. I can find a room. I can move all my stuff. It'll be a little expensive, but it's really not that bad. It'll like make a huge difference. I'm gonna do a cleanse from substances. Basically, how I approach a cleanse is I just go all the way out on being healthy. Like, I try not to go too overboard. Like, I'm not starving myself for anything, but I'm only eating healthy food as much as I can, and I'm person's very kind to let me in. And I'm like not smoking, not even getting high or anything. Sometimes I'll allow myself one cheat day, but I like the purity of just pure consciousness, just nothing else. So I'm going to do that. I haven't actually, as of late, been successful doing a cleanse because I've just been so depressed that I get to this level of, it's just not good. Like, no one should get to that level. And what's even more effed up is, like, my life is pretty good. There's no reason for me to feel like death, you know? It's like, sure, I had a little heartbreak, sure, you know, a bunch of things didn't work out. I'm still in the prime of my life. I should be thriving. This thing that's just been pulling me, like, been latched onto me, this, like, ancestral demon or something. I feel like I've actually defeated almost all the ancestral demons, but like there's one that's like this depression. That's just this, I don't know what that's from, but it's the only one I really can't get rid of. Like, it just is like embedded so deep. I don't know where I end and it begins. It's like a part of me. It's the madness you see in me. And like, I can identify it. I used to judge it. I used to loathe it. I used to hate it. And then I accepted it. And then I cringed at it again. You know, it's this whole cycle. It just really just drags you. It just really jerks you around through life. And it's just awful. Just awful. Like, there's not much to even be learned from it. That's why I yammer on and on about how I'm like, this is a scam and everything. Because we can go through tough life things and be like, I'm learning in this. Like, this is tough. This is not fun, but this is like what I need. And to know that, like, intuitionally and like deep down, like gut feeling type of thing. But a certain kind of depression is not that. It's just something trying to drown you. And I mean, I'm sure after this I'll be like, okay, I learned because I went through that. Like, now I know what that's like. But it's one of those things I'm like, I don't fucking care what... I mean, I do. I know enough. I don't want to. I don't want to ever have to feel that, you know? And to feel it so much. My God. Like, I've gone beyond the limits of my own, like, sanity and rational mind, and just, like, what I need is a serious, like, reset, attitude adjustment, like, renewal. And I've known that for a long time. I've been seeking that for over a decade. Going on 2 decades, actually. Over a decade and a half. And I know, like, I've been able to get myself back out of addiction and stuff in the past, but this has been such I don't know, unsufferable. Like, just where it's like the giving up. It's like, oh man, just caving, just constantly caving. It's like not having the strength. It's like you get like knocked down, and every time you try to get up, you get knocked down again. And you get to this, like, your psychology goes to this dark place. Like, it makes sense why people end their lives. So I've got to the point, I'm like, you know, it'd really be easy when you think about it. You just have to not think about it when you do it. And, like, you know, oh my God, I'll tell you, like, no one should ever have to go there. We should be able to take heart through our challenges. But I think there really are demons that, like fuck up our story, get us totally on the wrong path or whatever, and, like, that's probably why we come back again so many times. We're like, okay, I'm gonna do it right this time, I'm gonna get lucky, you know? But I have a presupposition, or I mean, I like to entertain the belief of reincarnation. I mean, if this is possible, if we did it once, don't you think we could do it again? Like, to believe it's some cosmic accident, it's like, yes, that's exclusive and unique, but there's no, like, meaning in it. There's no, it's just, oops, like, like, the cosmos just farted us out accidentally. Like, it's so, like, tasteless. There's no novelty there. That's why consciousness has this intelligence. What is that? That intelligence doesn't just emerge from nothing. Like, how can people just live telling themselves that lie? Like, is it because they're scared of, like, that there might be a God that could judge them? Like, have more imagination. Like, the God, like, that's just like the God of the demiurge. That's just a God that kind of, there's this dark feeling that truth kind of exists because of just how much everyone gets taken advantage of. And now we know what that's like. No one has to go a whole lifetime to like learn what that's like. You can learn it in like a decade or two, you know. That's plenty time. So yeah, I'm gonna move. I've done this before. I moved to Chicago when I was, after 18 years of living in the Palouse, the inland Northwest, like northern Idaho, eastern Washington. And I got so depressed there, and moving to Chicago was like the best thing I did. Now, I'm not really a city guy, but that was like the best city experience. And a huge shift for me, which like just took me right out of my depression. It's like they say you can't escape yourself, but you kind of can. It's kind of like they say, oh, money doesn't buy happiness. It kind of does if you're a fun person, because all of a sudden you're given access to do all these fun things because like money isn't an issue. So anyways, I don't want to get like sidetracked on all these pithy things people say that are just kind of not true. Not to say there aren't rich people who are depressed, but that's a different thing. When you've grown up in poverty and then get money, of course, a lot of people in that situation just blow it and end up poor again. I wouldn't. And it's not just because I have Jewish blood. It's because I have a plan. I have a vision. I have ideas. And I'm also frugal. Although sometimes extravagant. But at least I'm aware of my impulsivity towards extravagance. Because living in a like consumer-based, like capitalistic society, I mean, yeah, consumerism is a weakness for all of us. It's like, it feels good to get yourself a gift. It's like, hey, I need a new pillow. I just ordered a new pillow online. Because I'm like, I deserve that. We probably don't get new ones enough, but, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, we have a propensity to self-medicate with buying things, which works. Anyway, I arrived at my destination for band practice. I will tell you more. I will tell you more about my life and how it progresses. I'll let it be a public experiment. And yeah, because we're probably all being watched anyways. The world is a stage. But I'm at peace with not knowing for now. I am and I'm not. But I am now more than I have been for a while. Something new is coming. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but I can feel it